Okay, shall we start, Charanya?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, friends. On behalf of Indian Classical Dancers Association, I would like to welcome you to this session with Srimati Gauri Basu, Director of Eastern Cultural Center. As you all know, we had been trying our level best to get the directors of various cultural zones and various government officials for our program to have an interaction so that we get to know more details about the activities of the center, activities of the organization, and also to find out how we could associate, how the dancers could associate with the organization, and the organization could also benefit by getting more artists for performance and for various programs. So we are really fortunate to have Srimati Gauri Basu, and officially I am welcoming her on behalf of Indian Classical Dancers Association, and I would like to welcome each and everyone who have joined to participate in this program. And before we start, I would like to say a few sentences about the ICDA. We had been active since the last 3 years. Now we are having around 17,000 members in the Facebook page and 1,500 members in the WhatsApp group. We have members in every city in India and every major country in the world. So we are well connected. With a single message, we can know what is happening anywhere. And if any artist wants any help anywhere in the world, the dancers are there to help you. And if anybody is going for any performance, and if anybody wants to perform in that particular area, about the opportunities they have, about the programs which are coming, they get the knowledge about that. So that is the main objective, and the main objective of the ICD is to promote classical dances and classical dancers. And this is a voluntary organization of dancers, and I would request those members who are not in the WhatsApp group of ICDA, please give your mobile numbers in the chat box so that you can be added in the international WhatsApp group, and you get to know all happenings about festivals, shows, workshops, happenings all over the world. And ICDA is also organizing various competitions and festivals, and also festivals organized by members. So you could really get all the information about the activities. So once again, I would like to welcome Srimati Gauri Basu and the faculty and all the delegates who have joined for this program. And I would like to invite Charanya Gurusatya from Pune, who is our ICDA coordinator in Maharashtra, and I request her to officially introduce Gauri Basu.
Namaste. Very good evening to all of you. Thank you, Gopakumar sir. A warm welcome to you, Gauri ma'am. A brief introduction about Mrs. Gauri Basu. She is graduated from Presidency College, Kolkata with honors in chemistry, and she's completed her post-graduation in biochemistry from the Calcutta University College of Science. She has had the privilege of teaching at St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, and the Loreto House at Kolkata. She has been a consultant with Rabindranath Tagore Center, ICCR Kolkata, for 4 years, an educationalist, and among several accolades received the Lifetime Achievement Award for her contribution to education from the Telegraph and Excellence in Science has really made a mark. She has authored many publications on her researches on many dance forms, folk music, and folk theatre. Currently, she is the director of the Eastern Zonal Cultural Center, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Mrs. Basu is a highly talented individual who strikes an excellent balance between her plethora of activities. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am, this evening. Without any further delay, it's just really wonderful that so many artists are looking forward to a lot of inputs that EZCC is doing. And what would be the formalities of artists becoming a member or an associate with the Eastern Zonal Cultural Center? Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Charanya. And I would like to thank Mr. Gopakumar, who was the first person who contacted me and who spoke to me. And of course, after that, Charanya has been speaking to me. And I have to apologize to you also, Charanya, because I have not been able to, return your calls all the time. And I've also not been very proactive because of the pressure of my work. But I'm so happy to see this organization, which I did not know about, the ICDA, which is like an organization bringing all dancers together, all classical dancers together of the country and across the world. And I think this is so important because as a community, you can share your ideas with each other and you can move forward with everyone. And that is something so beautiful also. And coming to your question, that how do dancers become a part of the Eastern Zonal Cultural Center? You know, all the zonal cultural centers empanel artists. And similarly, you know, we also have our cultural mapping, which is on our website. So anyone can go to our website and go into our cultural mapping section, and you can register yourself as an artist of the EZCC. We did have a similar thing many years back, say about 15, 20 years back, where dancers, singers, musicians, theater artists all registered themselves by bringing in their records physically to the center. But that is not necessary anymore. You can just give links of your performances, links of your work, and you can register online through our website. You know, with technology, we have moved a lot faster, and I'm sure we can move even faster in the days to come. And I would request everyone to be a part of all the zonal cultural centers, not just EZCC, because there is so much work to be done and so much work to be done with each of the zonal centers. And I think everyone, wherever you are located, if you register yourself with your nearest zonal cultural center, I think that is going to be most beneficial to the artist. Yes, Charanya.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes. Is there any specific criteria, like very similar to the ICCR empaneling or an SNA empaneling? Is there a criteria for the artist in terms of age or experience or the level of learning? I mean, what would be the criteria so that the artists can also screen themselves before they apply to this position or empaneling?
Okay. For the zonal cultural centers, you know, the criteria is a lot more relaxed as compared to the Sangeet Natak Academy or ICCR. The reason for this is that zonal cultural centers mainly deal with folk and tribal artists. For folk and tribal artists, they don't really have any formal training. Their training is like learning by watching. Their music, their dance, everything is learned by watching the village elders, by watching their parents, their siblings, etc. So for them, you know, certification is unheard of. So under such circumstances, we don't really have any such criteria. And the basic difference between folk and tribal dances and classical art forms is that folk dances is an expression of the inner joys. Folk dances are an expression of, you know, your hopes, your aspiration, your moods, etc., or even celebration of the seasons. Whereas classical dance is something that one learns through a lot of sadhana. It is something that you dedicate yourselves to. So the two are on two completely different planes. But the zonal centers promote both the classical dance forms, classical music forms, as well as the folk and tribal music, dance, instrument forms. So that is the difference, and our criteria is far more relaxed as compared to ICCR, which has gradations of, you know, outstanding category, excellent category. I don't remember their categories because I was in ICSR quite some time back, but I know that they have all these categories. In our case, the categorization is done by watching the performances, not through any paper that you produce or any kind of training that you show, because that kind of training can never be shown by our folk artists.
True, very true. Having said this, is there any other opportunity for institutes? Since there are artists and there are also many artists who are also part of a dance institute or like an art institute, which is having dance, music, and folk. So is there a separate category in which the institutes can separately map themselves? Or is it just that it's just an artist who will be mapped along with the zonal cultural center?
You can register both as a solo artist, or you can register your group, because many forms, theater is always in the form of a group. It can never be in the form of an individual. The individual may be the director, but the theater group has to be registered. And in dance also, or in music also, we register both the institution as well as the individual.
Now, having said this, the most wanted and the interesting topic for almost all artists is, will they be given any funding or support through ECC if we need some backup to perform or to present ourselves in some event or a festival? So will ECC support, EZCC support the artists to present?
See, the support of the ministry for a particular production is always through the production grant. And that is done directly by the Ministry of Culture. What EZCC does is, EZCC sometimes commissions a particular production for a particular purpose. Say, for instance, during Gandhi 150 years, we did commission a lot of productions. And during the 100 years of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, we also did commission a lot of productions. So this way, we do commission productions at certain times. And, during the pandemic, artists were really in a very bad shape, particularly our rural artists. It is at that time that we reached out to the rural artists and we told them that we taught them how to do online programs. You are all urban artists, you are all educated artists, you know how to do these things. But our rural artists really don't know how to do it. And most of our rural artists don't even have a smartphone. And it was very difficult for them. But I'm so proud of the rural folk artists because they all learned it in such a short time. And maybe the entire village has just one person with a smartphone. They use that phone to take a short clipping of, say, 3 to 5 minutes of their performance and they sent it to us. And we showed it on all our social media handles. And after that, we made a payment to them as per the ZCC norms. So that way we have reached out during these last 16 months of the pandemic. We have reached out to over 12,000 artists. We have also had online classical vocal programs, classical instrumental programs, classical dance programs, because we also wanted to reach out to younger artists performing or practicing the different classical art forms. Because it is not just the rural artists who are going through a very lean phase, even the classical urban artists are going through a very lean phase. Because maybe financially they are not as badly off as our rural artists, but emotionally they are. Because for an artist not to be able to perform, I think is emotionally very disturbing. So we have reached out, and I'm saying the figure is in the last 16 months, we have been able to present over 12,000 artists through our social media handles, which I think is a big number. My colleagues have had to work overtime because, making payments to so many people, ensuring that everything is collated and put on the social media, all that takes a lot of time, but they are working very hard and we have been able to do it.
It's really inspiring to hear this, that, the artists are being supported by institutes. And is there a way, like how you said, the younger generation, because we have a widespread of dancers, artists, younger students as well, who are part of members of the ICDA. Is there a way, or is there any festival which is coming up, or an opportunity for them that they can look into? Where can they look into, and how can they apply for it?
See, right now we are having a classical dance festival. We are also having a classical music festival. I would suggest to everybody, please look at the programs that we are doing online. After you see all the programs that we are doing online, it will give you a kind of an idea of the kind of programs that we are doing online. And because I think even once the pandemic is over, I think this, along with the physical mode of organizing program, we will continue to even organize online programs, because through this online media, we are being able to reach out to a very, very large audience. Something that, if I hold a program, say in Shantiniketan in West Bengal, it is going to be a very small number of people living in Shantiniketan who will be watching that program. But the moment while doing that physical program, I also put it online, there's going to be a much, much larger viewership. So along with that, we also have to bring in more and more artists into our network. So to do that, we will have to continue with our online programs also, which I am hoping to do.
Thank you, ma'am. And one final question from me is it that Eastern Zonal Cultural Center focuses more on the Eastern artists around Eastern states, and so which way the other artists, at least from within India, would apply and approach only the zones in which they are living in? Or is it like a cross-cultural application that they can apply for? Or
the zonal cultural centers were created keeping the zones in mind. So we have the north, south, east, west, the north central, south central, and the northeast. So each of the centers naturally focuses more on the artists of their region. So we will focus, each zonal center will focus more on the artists of their region. But along with it, we do have a lot of national cultural exchange programs, the NCEPs. And through the NCEPs, we do bring in a lot of artists from other zones. We also have some all India programs in which all the zonal centers participate together, like the Rashtriya Sanskriti Mahotsavs. There are programs where everybody participates together. So when everyone participates together, everyone brings in artists from their zone who all perform together on a single platform. So that makes the dream of the zonal cultural centers, the mandate of the zonal cultural centers of bringing unity in diversity through culture, a reality.
And what are the social platforms currently that these events are being telecasted? Is it on YouTube or Facebook? So
it is on Facebook, it is on YouTube, it is on both Facebook as well as YouTube. You will be able to, access everything that we have done in our YouTube channel.
Thank you, ma'am. I think I can leave the floor open for, we have around 43 participants today. So let's hear maybe a few questions that I haven't addressed from also senior artists who are also present here. Just give me a moment. I'll just leave the floor open for all. Okay, I have given access to everybody. Ma'am, please unmute yourself. Kindly unmute yourself, ma'am.
May I speak?
Yes, yes, Ms. Aswari, please go on.
Okay, I just wanted to say, because many of us are not necessarily talking about myself, but me also, we never know from the beginning what is going to happen. And then we know ki ye kar raha hai, wo kar raha hai. You understand, ma'am? So how do we know in advance कि अब ये होने वाला है, अभी exchange वाला program जो आपने बोला NCEP वाला होने वाला है, so that, or you know, like artists are so busy earning our bread and butter with the classes, and like I do a job in the school also with classes and all this. So in सब चीजों में, you know, we tend to not get to know in advance. तो ऐसा कोई system हो कि we can all be, you know, getting it in advance, the knowledge and the info कि क्या होने वाला है, तो easy होगा. How is that possible?
You know, very often we do have a monthly calendar. You know, because of the pandemic, the monthly calendar has been suspended temporarily. But once we start our physical programs, we will be again issuing our monthly calendars. So once we start issuing our monthly calendars, you will be able to know exactly what are the programs that we are doing. And your question is very pertinent. It's a very good question, because, you know, people should know exactly what is happening. If, you know, how do you know that the Zonal Cultural Center is having a classical dance festival or a classical music festival? The artists should know, so that the artists can approach. It is very important for that. And I think this is an idea that you should share with all the zonal centers, particularly the zonal center under which you fall, so that you know exactly what is happening in that zonal center during that time.
Madam, I think what the artists are saying is that tender openings in industrial undertakings and all, it is not published before. They know, they know only after the program comes up, and they do not know how the selection is being done. That is the question.
Actually, you know, if you are part of our cultural mapping program, and we know that you are mapped with us, then in rotation, we will be giving all the artists programs. Because always it is not possible for us to be able to tell you our programs beforehand, because we are dealing with, like EZCC deals with 9 states in Eastern India. So we don't work totally on our own. Suppose today I'm working with a state like Manipur. You know, the state government culture department also has a big say in our programs. So it's not always possible that we always follow our program calendar to the T. Sometimes there can be certain situations where the program calendar is changed. But I know that sometimes I have this program. We know exactly what programs we are having. So under the circumstances, if you are mapped with us, we know exactly, you know, these are our Kuchipudi artists, these are our say Bharatnatyam artists, or these are our vocalists, these are our instrumentalists. We can in rotation give everybody work, and that's how we do it. But of course, for every zonal center, the focus is on artists from that zone.
How many centers are there in India, ma'am?
7.
7.
North, south, east, west, north central, south central, and northeast.
So any of the members would like to ask any questions, you can ask.
Any questions from the participants?
Yes. Namaskar.
Could you please
Yes.
Introduce yourself. Yes. Yes, you're audible. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Momita Ghosh Vats, and I'm an Odissi dancer. What I've been finding currently that there are some major institutions and organizations, and in association with the zonal centers, some programs are being created and organized. So, and there they have a list of their own artists or preferential artists where they give opportunity to them. So I was trying to know if EZCC or other zonal centers, they work independently or they work in associations And do they have a separate list of panelists or independent list of panelists or judges, juries who try to organize or do the screening of the artist so that the whole procedure becomes more transparent?
Okay. To answer your question, the procedure is very transparent, and we don't really work through organizations all the time. If there is a particular theme that we would like to present, and we try to find out who are the people who have worked on the theme. Say, for instance, we were asked to present a program in Andaman and Nicobar Islands on the cellular jail and on what had happened during that time. So when we are asked to do specific programs, we then ask artists who are, in the field that, have you got any work on this done? Because it's not always possible that for one particular show, you will create a program totally new, because it may not have an audience after that. So that is the time when we associate or we, collaborate with other people. But most of the programs we do on our own. Say, for instance, right now we will be celebrating Rabindranath Tagore's death anniversary, 22 Shravan. During that time, the program will be handled totally by us, because we don't need anybody to handle this program for us. We are quite competent. The zonal centers are quite competent to handle programs on their own. So we don't really use other people to handle our programs. But yes, when we want a particular production done, then we collaborate. But when we collaborate also, we monitor the production. It's not that we allow our collaborator to present whatever they feel like. No, because we also have a major say in it since we are the collaborator.
Anybody else? Any other question?
Hi, Namaskaram.
Hello.
I'm from Malaysia, Disha here. I have a few questions, ma'am. Because just recently I appointed as traditional event coordinator in Malaysia. They requested to arrange for international programs also. But I couldn't know how to arrange, how to get prepared to announce and advertise, and the proper procedures to invite the overseas dancers or arts lovers to come to Malaysia and do some traditional performance in varieties of form of dance. And then can I get your ideas and your advice, please?
Yeah. You know, what you can do is you could request the zonal centers that this is the kind of program that I want to do. This is the kind of artists. Now, suppose you require most of your artists from Northeast India, or you require most of your artists from West India, or wherever you require your artists from, you can get in touch with the zonal cultural centers, and you can ask the zonal cultural centers to send you some names of groups, or even put up your request on their websites and tell the artist to apply to you directly. So that way, you can use our website just to get across to larger number of people.
All right, I will try to do that. Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else? If you have a question, you can actually raise your hand so that I can call out your name. Yes, Ms. Shashireka Ramohan.
Yes. Namaste, I'm from Chennai. My question is similar to Ashwari Pawar. Is there a monthly newsletter that we can subscribe to get to know of what is going to happen? I understand that there may be changes or deletions, additions, but in general, because I'm also the founder and treasurer of Prayathanam, it is an organization exclusively for dance teachers. So if at all we miss this year, we will be prepared for the next year.
Okay. Now, all the zonal centers have got certain set programs. Like we have something called the Guru Shishya Parampara, where we kind of promote one guru of a particular dance, particular art form, and we also sponsor some students under the guru. Then there is the Young Talent Hunt. We have our Umang scheme, in which we try to bring out the talent of the differently abled people. So in this way, we have our theatre rejuvenation scheme. So these schemes are common to all the zonal cultural centers. So if you are, you get in touch, so you know that these schemes are there with the zonal center. So whichever scheme of the zonal center you feel that you fall under, then, or you would like to be a part of, you can apply to, like you're in Chennai, so you will be applying to South Zone Cultural Center at Thanjavur. So all of us, all the centers have the same schemes. So these schemes, if you know, and if you go to our websites, you will know exactly which are our schemes. See which scheme you fit into, which scheme you would like to be a part of, and make an application to your zonal cultural center.
Thank you, ma'am. May I ask one more question?
Yes, sure.
When we see the list of awardees who have received protection grants or salary grants, I see a lot of teachers or institutions from Kolkata, Odisha, and Delhi, rather than South India as a whole, including Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala. And why is it so, ma'am? Is it because that we have to equip ourselves to how to apply?
Okay. I think it is more awareness. I think people in these regions, the states you mentioned, West Bengal, Orissa, I think people in these regions are more aware of all the schemes at the ministry. These schemes are not handled by the zonal cultural centers. The schemes are handled directly by the ministry. But during the application, the forwarding has to be done by an organization like the Zonal Cultural Center. Now, right now, the ministry is taking the applications for the salary grants of the institutions. And I know that how many applications have been routed through us. So that which just goes to show, maybe if you're saying, I'm not aware of this, that there are less number of people who are taking the grant in Southern India or whatever it is. But I know that people in these states, even among the eastern states, I will say Orissa, West Bengal are more aware than the other states. I think the whole thing depends on the awareness of the artists.
Maybe, ma'am, but in fact, my institution was awarded a salary grant in 2012, but which we never received it. Like me, there are 8 more people who were awarded. It is there in the website, but we did not receive a penny.
Actually, this is not handled by the zonal center, so I don't know about it. But no. I think that the awareness is more, and that is why more and more people from these sides keep applying for the grants. But I know, huge number every day. There used to be huge piles of applications that we had to go through and, write the forwarding letter for them. And then they, of course, send it. But the whole thing is that I think the awareness is more on this side. Maybe they do more follow-up. I wouldn't be able to say, but I think because I'm aware that many institutions in Kolkata and Orissa, and even in the smaller places of West Bengal, do get a lot of grant.
Thank you, ma'am. I think there's a hand raised by Ms. Sauromi Mukherjee. So could you please unmute yourself?
Yes, namaskar, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to ask you that what will be the application format if I want to be empaneled in EZCC, and what is the time for application?
There is no time because it is a open site. You will have to go into the EZCC website and you will see the cultural mapping site where you will empanel yourself, and this empanelment can happen at any time.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I have to write an application letter?
Oh, you have to fill in the form. There's no writing an application. You will have to fill in the form online and then just submit it.
Okay,
submit
okay.
online.
Thank you so much.
Press the submit button and submit it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Members from the South and Central can also apply?
Yes, yes. Everybody can apply. You know, suppose someone is doing Kathakali, then we will you know, enlist you under Kathakali. When we need Kathakali performance, we will be able to get your name, you know, in the click of a button. This is what technology has done for us. It is so much easier now for us to work.
I think with this pandemic is actually been a boon to artists in terms of connectivity and staying connected, which is really helping artists. Like, I don't think any of us even knew each other a year ago. So now this forum is really connected us so closely. I also am seeing so many familiar faces for the last maybe 6 or 7 months in my own curation. So this itself sees that how we can stay connected. So it's a wonderful thing. Any other questions from anybody else? Any questions?
I would like to comment again. Yeah, I had a little experience with the EZCC long time back. As previously, Ms. Basu was speaking about, there were a lot of papers that once needed to be submitted, but now it's not the scene. Once I was registered, kind of registered, not totally, maybe I was given a code, and which they asked me to use to get a registration. But the moment I would call them, making, you know, many calls, they would say that we have to cater to this, the state's artists more, since they have a lot of, you know, Orissa and Bengal, a lot of Odissi artists. So you have to wait in a queue. So I just hope that the story is not like this anymore, and they are prompt and quick to the artist request, and those who have not yet got the opportunity.
You know, the reason for this is we cannot really congratulate ourselves for it. We have to thank technology for it, for making things so much easier for us. We have to thank technology for it, because previously things were very different. You know, you had to submit a CD. Sometimes when, you know, when you had to be graded, the CD often didn't work. And there were a lot of problems at that time. And I think you're talking of a time about 15 years back.
Kind of 10, 12 years ago. Yeah.
So at that time, you know, all these problems were there. But now I think it is a lot streamlined thanks to technology.
Anybody else? Or,
Ma'am, are you organizing any programs in South India or other places, EZone Cultural Center, to promote your art forms, Manipuri, all those things, Kathak? Are you taking interest to organize programs in South and all?
Well, whenever we do a program, it's usually in collaboration with the South Zone Cultural Center. And when the South Zone Cultural Center is doing a particular program where they want to promote the art forms from different parts of the country, they write to the different zonal centers and tell us exactly what they are wanting. And accordingly, we send the artists. But it is in collaboration. The nodal agency will always be the Zonal Cultural Center of that particular zone.
Are you funding for any festivals or any programs or any events organized by an academy or an institution who are well established and registered society? And are you giving any funding for these organizations for organizing festivals or workshops?
No, ZCCs don't work as funding agencies, so we don't really fund festivals.
But you can support the program, no? You can support the program.
We support the programs by, by supporting through maybe sponsoring one or two of the artists. In all the festivals in Eastern India, we do put in our support. We put in our support by supporting, sponsoring artists, sponsoring theater groups at the festival, but not directly paying the sponsors. No, we don't do that. But we do help in this indirect manner.
Are you providing any scholarships for poor students or something like that for artists?
That is through our Guru Shishya Parampara scheme. In our Guru Shishya Parampara scheme, we take dying or vanishing art forms. And then we locate a guru. We identify a guru of that vanishing art form. And then we sponsor the guru's fees, as well as we make a small payment to the Shishyas also. And each guru is supposed to keep about between 8 to 15 Shishyas, depending on the particular art form. And they learn under him. And that is the way how we support the teaching learning process.
Ma'am, there is a question on the chat box. What is the link that we will have to look into for EZCC? What will be the address or the website address, if you can share it?
I can't remember right now, but if you just type in EZCC, you will get EZCC website.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more questions to ma'am, or are we good to go? I think most of the questions that especially that came up from Aswari ma'am and Shashirika ma'am were the things which are almost running through most of the artists' minds. So that is something that you really addressed it so nicely and truthfully to us, so that we can also look at it and that perspective. And of course, like as you said, we will surely look into from whichever zone of India that we are in, try to map ourselves to the zone in which we are living in, so that probably we can tap a little more opportunities by not just looking up only to EZCC to promote or bring in the artists in the forefront. So this is one takeaway for us today. And second, we will surely look into the programs online for us to be updated. And maybe since ICDA, we are having such a vast connectivity, probably as and when we can forward these details as we get to know through the website. For example, if I look into the website and I know this event is going to come up, so probably I can just post a message into the ICDA groups asking artists to look up into it. So that way we can support each other to be aware of what are the programs well in advance, even before it comes to the forefront. Really thank you, ma'am. And I'm sure I do understand your busy schedule. Please don't feel sorry about not answering my calls or my messages. I totally understand the amount of work, and we're really privileged that you're here today, taking time off from all your busy schedule and talking to all of us. Thank you so much for being here, and looking forward to a lot of collaboration with all the Zonal Cultural Center, and I'm sure artists will benefit out of this. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you. I would like to request you also, if there are any programs, any announcements, any this thing comes up, you can send us a message to me or Charnia, so that we can publish it in our all our groups.
Okay.
So that all our 1,500 members can know about the forthcoming events, any posters or anything. And if you want any assistance, any help from our side, you have the whole army of 1,500 members of ICDA with you. So we are there for you to assist for give you any support, man. So on behalf of Indian Classical Dancers Association, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to you, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with so many talented people. I think all of you are so talented, and I feel like a little worm in front of all of you. And it is because of you that we are there. And please bank on our support at all times. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And thanks to all the participants who joined us today. Keep coming to all our shows and programs as and when you're getting updated. And Shubharatri, have a nice weekend.
Tomorrow we have having a program, lecture demonstration of veteran dancer Priyadarshini Ghosh. So please try to attend the program tomorrow evening at 6:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gauri. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.